Back in the year 1993, Richard Eaton claimed that Islam was history's first truly global civilization. Islam is a fast-spreading religion, and currently it has more than 1.9 billion followers worldwide, and that number is increasing with every passing day. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to FTD Facts. Leroy Kenton here, and for this episode, I'm going to be talking about different eras and the rise of Islam in different territories. So definitely I want you guys to stick around until the end so you don't miss any of these 10 facts about how Islam spread in the world. Alright, we begin this episode off at number 10, Dawah. During ancient times, Muslims used Dawah, or inviting others to engage with the message of Islam. Prophet Muhammad, he preached to people individually, but as most of Makkah belonged to the elite class, they saw the message as a threat to their political, religious, and social and economic status in Makkah. However, despite the hostile position of the Meccan leaders, the message of Islam gradually attracted not only the weak and poor of Makkah, but many of the elite people themselves. After that, Prophet Muhammad began preaching the message and teaching the Quran, which made the religion spread. Islam also spread through Sufism. Sufism contributed to the Islamization not only in Central Asia, but also in Kashmir, a disputed territory in the Himalayas foothills with population of upwards of 95% Muslim. Sufism came during the period of the Fatimid Caliphate, and the Sufis started preaching Islam from the time of the Delhi Sultanate to the Mughal era in the Indian subcontinent. Sachal Sarmas, Baba Bule Shah, Shah Wali Ullah, and Data Ganj Baksh are some of the prominent Sufis who helped align the local values and the practices with Islamic teachings. Next, at number 8, we're going to be looking at the spread of Islam throughout Asia. Islamic groups maintained control of most Asian land for a long period of time. Arab Muslims spread Islam into Turkish and Persian kingdoms, which then expanded into Central Asia. In Central Asia, Islam gradually spread as cultures and ethnic groups mixed together. And now today, when we look, most of Central Asian nations are actually Islamic nations now. Muslims conquered part of South Asia from India to Bangladesh and began the Delhi Sultanate. Now in the year 1526, the Mughal Empire descended from the Mongolians, expanded the Muslim territory, and filled the southern Asian land with Muslim art and architecture. From there, let's talk about the spread in Indonesia and China. Most of Indonesia converted to Islam under the influence of the Sufis in the 13th century. Islam also spread through merchant activities by Arab Muslim traders and adoption by local rulers. And today, Indonesia has the highest Muslim population in the entire world. And that comes as a surprise to a lot of people because most people think that most Muslims are in Arab countries, but that's actually not the case. Either way, Islam reached China also during the Tang and Song dynasties from 618 to 1279 via the overland and the maritime Silk Roads. Arabian and Persian traders built tombs and mosques combining traditional Arab and Chinese architectures, intermarried with local Chinese, and also raised the first generation of Chinese-speaking Muslims. However, only 2% of China's population is Muslim today. Alright, for number 6, let's look at the spread of Islam in Africa. Islam entered Africa from different places. First, Arab traders came from Asia into North Africa and moved through the Sahara to West Africa. The first African converts to Islam were merchants in Sudan, followed by some kings and their royal courts. However, the peasants initially maintained their local faiths and converted after some time to Islam. Gao was the first place where the king of Ghana converted, and then Muslims established a kingdom in Mali from the 13th century to the 15th century. Mansa Musa was the king of Mali, and he built the capital city called Timbuktu, where Muslim scholars taught and wrote Islamic law. For fact number 5, I gotta mention Ibn Battuta. Cities developed in the places where African traders met Arab traders, and as the towns grew, the Muslims started building mosques to give the cities some shape. Now, the records about the spread came from Arab sources, such as the great Arab traveler Ibn Battuta, who traveled from Western Africa to Eastern China throughout his life, probably more than Marco Polo or any other explorer at that time. Now, let's look at the rise of Islam over in Europe. Islam expanded in the Caucasus through the Muslim conquest of Persia in the 7th century and entered southern Europe through the expansion of the Umayyad conquest of Hispania in the 8th to 10th centuries. Muslim political entities, they existed firmly in what is today Spain, Portugal, Sicily, and Malta during the Middle Ages. And the Ottoman Empire, they further expanded into southeastern Europe, and it consolidated its political power by invading and conquering huge portions of the Serbian Empire, the Bulgarian Empire, as well as all of the remaining territories of the Byzantine Empire in the 14th and 15th centuries. Many Muslims also migrated to Western Europe in the late 20th century, as well as early 21st century. And that actually leads us to number 3, migration. Migration, both forced and voluntary, has played an important role in the spread of Islam. The earliest presence of Muslims outside of Arabia was a group of Muslims who sought refuge in Abyssinia during the lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad. This is one of the very famous stories about the life of Prophet Muhammad. Similarly, forced migration brought the first Muslims to the New World through the transatlantic slave trade, laying the foundations for an early Muslim presence in the Americas. The forced migrants became distant from Islam, but then they returned to mainstream Islam en masse, starting in the late 1970s. Also, intermarriage between Muslims and non-Muslims also became a source of the spread of Islam in different parts of the world. One prominent case was that of Sarah, the daughter of Alamund of the Visigothic royal family. Now, she was married twice to prominent Muslims, and in later centuries her descendants formed some of the leading Muslim families of Seville, including the Banu Hajjaj and the Banu Maslama. Similar marriages happened in the Ottoman Empire and in India and also the United States, where Muslims married non-Muslims, and it gave rise to Islam in various different regions. Now, we end this episode off with number 1, conquests. Islam spread through the reign of the second Caliph Umar, who held power from 634 to 644. And the Rashidun Caliphate constructed a massive empire out of many swift military victories and gave rise to people embracing the religion of Islam. After the Rashidun, the Umayyad dynasty and the Abbasid dynasty helped increase the conversion to Islam. The Umayyads did not actively encourage conversion, but when the Abbasids rebelled and gained control, Islamic art and culture started to flourish in the land, and they are famous for initiating the Islamic Golden Age. Alright, FTD Facts fam, this was all I have for you about the spread of Islam in different regions of the world. What do you think about the information that was shared? Sound off below in the comments section. If you did enjoy this one, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up. And also, if this is your first time stumbling across our videos here on FTD Facts, go ahead, do yourself a favor, subscribe and ring the bell. That way you won't miss any of our daily uploads. Until next time guys, stay awesome, stay educated, and I'll see you soon.